Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Five. We just ask that you like, dislike, comment, subscribe, do all the things that's necessary. On this evening's conversation, hi, ladies.
Hi.
Hey.
All right. So, on this evening's chat that we're going to be discussing, I'm not sure if you all are aware of the show that's called Love is Blind.
Yes.
All right, so this is where tonight's conversation is stemming from. Earlier on in season, I believe it was season four, there's a couple. There's a lady that I'm going to reference to her as Lady. It's a man, which is going to be referenced as Man A, and the second man is going to be referenced as Man B. And in this particular season, um, the lady was uncertain of which way to go because there were two men that she was interested in, which we all know this happens when you're dating multiple. Your feelings or whatever may be involved, and it is two people that you may or more that you may find an interest in. But with this particular lady, some alarms, some steam was coming from my head because this particular lady was stuck between two men. Man A was somebody that was a caring gentleman. He was assuring her of all the things. He even thought that he might have been falling in love. He was a sweet guy.
Mhm.
Man B, she said earlier on that it was her normal type of guy. He was a little cocky, a little too cocky, and it didn't add up to me, but we'll get into that. He didn't assure her of anything. She asked questions, he did not answer the questions. Um, and then also what I noticed in watching her, she had insecurities, she had trust issues. To me, she lacked confidence in herself. So it made her, I think, choose incorrectly. Are you ladies familiar with what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Yes, unfortunately.
Okay. All right. So, um, I think my question for this evening will be, why do women, and I'm only going to talk about the women right now because that's what we are. Why do women settle for what they know is a familiar, I'm going to say a familiar spirit, or someone that they know that they are receiving red flags from,
Um,
um someone who really doesn't know how to communicate. He wasn't willing to be vulnerable with her.
Mm.
Like, why do you think women, and I don't remember her age, but I'm not even going to put an age on it because,
My 30s.
okay, this thing can apply for a variety of
Mm.
of of ages.
mm,
Um But yeah, why do you think that that's a thing? And then we can get into more of what I seen or what you guys seen within the lady and why you think she went from, she didn't pick man A, but she picked man B.
Um, before we get into answering the questions, I just want to say for our audience, that's if you're not familiar with the show, it's a dating show
Mhm.
where couples don't see each other. It's
Mhm.
like a partition in between the guys, and you're dating, but you don't see each other.
Mhm.
Mhm.
So that's a big thing right there.
That's
That's
important.
the main thing. Yeah, that's the key that I definitely did miss. So that's why a team is a team. So
Mhm.
that is correct. So to backtrack before we even get into answering the question, that is correct what Shell said. So all that they have basically is communication because they're not physically seeing each other until they get past the first phase,
Mhm.
which the first phase is being behind a wall, having these deep conversations you would think to make your decision. And then once the person makes their decision, typically the man proposes to the female. Once the woman accepts or not, then the couples that have accepted the proposals, they then travel to a destination, an island where they are basically on the honeymoon phase. And then after the honeymoon phase, they're into the next phase of actually living together,
Mhm.
um, meeting the family, having real life situations. And then at that point, they'll decide if they're even going to get to the altar, because some don't even make it to the altar. And then once they make it to the altar, some couples or some individuals still don't even know if I'm saying yes or if I'm saying no.
Mhm.
So just to backtrack there, I got a little excited and missed the whole point of explaining the show.
Mhm.
Um, so now that we got that out the way, ladies, what do you have to say about the lady thus far?
Well, Tamika, it's kind of like when a child grows up, just an example, with in a domestic violence household, right? And they see their, I guess they said their dad beating up on their mom, right? And they swear, I'll never marry a man like that. I'll never pick a man like that, right? And
Mm-hmm.
they've grown accustomed to the behaviors and everything that's associated with having a violent household, a
Mm-hmm.
violent domestic violence, living with physical abuse, right?
Yeah,
And then they grow up, go through their teenage years, and sure enough, every single man they pick
is that.
is violent.
Mm-hmm.
So you create this mindset, unbeknownst to that person. It's not only learned behavior, but you pick up all the cues, and it's the very thing that you're attracted to. You can't help it. And every single man, every single man, every single man is a person that's a physical abuser. So I kind of make that analogy. Is That's the reason why I think she picked. Because if you notice in the filming, when they were meeting to the family, it was only the mom that showed up. So I'm thinking the father was not really in their life, or there's some type of, dysfunction in that household as it relates to that father figure in her life, and the lack thereof, the lack of love, lack of whatever that she missed from her dad. And she said it, she constantly picks the same type of man that she get hurts. And sure enough, when it came to the show, blinded, sight unseen, she went to the same type of man. Despite the fact that the whole other guy had all the things she wanted, all the things she desired, right? Love, intimacy, the opposite of what she went through with a typical experience.
Mm-hmm.
Even though, like you said, the guy that she chose, she said, oh, she had this connection. I'm like, where did you see this connection? He gave you nothing.
Mhm.
Nothing.
Where's his connection? He gave you not even breadcrumbs. Like he literally didn't want to answer any questions. No, no, and he literally left it shallow, and he even left it to the part where he kept it like sexual, physical. Like he didn't want to go any deeper. Like, because he was in fear, he was afraid of being hurt as well when you hear his backstory. But it's like she got nothing. I'm like, where did you get this connection from? And that was the same guy she picked. It was like it was pure self-sabotage.
Their very first date, he was talking about sexual attraction.
Yeah. So it's like, I don't know if that's the type of guy she usually, that's their thing, but she just picked up on that familiar spirit and she gravitated to it. And I guess that was her connection because it was familiar to her.
A lot of women, girls that become women, that we learn how to be treated by men from our dads, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, and so when your dad's not there, or whether he's there or not there, you're learning this on your own. And so a lot of times you go up thinking that your kitty is the way that you find love.
Mm.
And so this man B, he, even in their conversations, as you got lady said, he wasn't transparent. He didn't open up, but he talked about a lot of sexual thing. And so that's what I think resonated with her. And if you remember, even when they did pick each other, and then when they did see each other, and then when they did go to the honeymoon, I noticed at one point that everyone was out. The two couples were out by the water, another couple was out at the spa. But do you guys remember, where were they? They were at home
Mm-hmm.
in
Mm-hmm.
bed.
Mm-hmm.
And so that stood out to me, because I'm like, this is the time to be learning each other outside of the bedroom. Technically, you shouldn't even be in the bedroom. That's a whole nother conversation. But if you're in that bedroom, there's other ways to learning for each other. So to me, that was what she took as love.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was her downfall, and a lot of other women's downfalls. But I that's what I think was, like you said, she went into that familiar spirit, because man A, he was studious. You could
Mm.
tell he was educated, he was articulate,
Took his
he
time, honey.
knew how to communicate
He
Mm-hmm.
was all
properly
the things.
without
Yes.
Family man.
sexual innuendos. He knew how to do
Yes.
all that, and that made her
A,
uncomfortable.
a gentleman. He wrote poetry. Come on now.
Self-sabotage, and
I'm like,
so
Well,
I
ooh.
think he was
mhm.
worthy.
Yeah, she did say that she's never been in love.
Mm-hmm.
So she pretty much had her guard up, in addition to all of the things that I listed, with her insecurity, her trust issues. And then he did say that he was falling in love with her. But to go back to guy B, to man B, she asked him a question, and she said to him, "How do you feel about our connection?"
Mm-hmm. Remember that.
And he was cocky for no reason. His response was, "I feel comfortable.
Mm.
What will be, will be.
So vague, says
What
nothing.
will be, will be."
It gave her nothing. Go by.
And then the thing is, okay, so when it got towards the end of having to make a selection, she chose man A, because at some point she realized that man B is just not going to give me what I need.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then I don't know if you guys remembered, when he was in
Mm-hmm.
the suite with the men,
Yep.
he actually was going to go home, because somehow the word got out. Well, I think the word got out from man A when he was communicating with his fellas,
Mm-hmm.
that he said she made her decision. She's confident in her decision.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
So he heard that. Now the one who said, "I feel comfortable, what will be, will be," he went back to the meeting lounge with her, and still said nothing. But for whatever reason, it made her cold again, because she was warm. It made her cold again, and then she just settled. She just melted.
Manipulation.
She
Mhm.
just melted. This man came back to you, still said nothing, still gave you nothing that was hopeful to look forward to. He said nothing, and then now you're back to, I don't know
Right.
what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, she was all confused all over again. And I think at that last time he gave her flowers. Remember that? And somehow this flowers was just huge gesture after
Yeah,
what the other men he did so much. But he gave
yeah.
this one little flower at the end after you pulling teeth trying to get information from him. That was the thing, all be all to get her all like, oh, well now I'm in love again. Like what? He gave
And
her
then,
nothing.
right, he gave nothing the whole entire time, but that's the man she chose. And then she realized she made a mistake
Mhm.
once it got
Hmm.
to the honeymoon and, seeing and having encounters and talking
Hmm.
to other
With the
couples
other
and
couples,
seeing
other
his
contestants,
behavior when they had
the get-togethers.
right, and then all of the other prior contestants who didn't make it to the level or the phase that they were on came back. Now you get to see the other women that you were dating all this time, and you could put faces
Mm,
to the voices. This man was like a kid in a candy store.
yes.
Yes, I was thinking the same thing.
All in their
Yes.
face.
Appalled myself just watching him.
He, what when I say he was a kid in the candy store, ladies,
Yes.
he didn't know what to do.
And the worst part about it, Tamika, I watched and it came to the point everybody was coupled up. She was sitting there by herself with the other ladies. He never came back to her. She had to come in the middle of his conversation when I think it was Kyle or one of the other friends. And they
Mhm.
stopped talking because they immediately, oh, he was talking about her. And it felt
Mhm.
awkward. And then I guess she felt awkward. She walked away. He never came
Yeah.
back to her. He stayed in some female's face the whole time. I don't know if what happened between the taping, but the taping, that's what they showed. And I'm like, oh my God.
That was
Mostly,
just
mostly
like,
Sophie. Mostly Sophie. Their interaction, Sophie interaction with man B was just,
Oh,
he didn't even flirt with the one he proposed to like that.
yes.
Mm-hmm.
Like I mean, they were like just being coy and it was really cutesy if that's the woman
Mm.
he picked. But the woman you picked is sitting by herself.
Sitting
So I
right
was just
there.
sitting there like, did she really see what she did yet? Did she
Like,
understand the magnitude of her actions? Because she really screwed herself over. It
hopefully,
was
when she
sad. It
watches
was
it
sad
back,
to
she sees
watch.
herself, but who knows?
I
I
was
think she
upset with
did.
him.
Go ahead.
No, I was upset with him also because he knew that he didn't want her. He
Hmm.
knew it.
He
Hmm.
But
did.
I think when the other guy, I'm gonna say guy A came in, like, yeah, I got this. I
Mhm.
think it was a little of a challenge for him.
It
Competition, yeah.
was.
Yeah.
Hmm. Hmm.
It was. And I didn't write the quote down, but I'm pretty sure he said something to himself. I didn't, oh, he did when he came back. I didn't even
He
do
was
anything.
locked or
You
something,
you
or
know women just don't know what they want.
Right.
That's
Oh, that
exactly
pissed
what
me
he
off when he
said.
said that. I'm like, oh man.
That's what he said when he came back. I didn't even do anything.
I
It's
was gonna
just
go home.
you know women, they just don't know what they want.
Hmm.
Like, and then you wanted to be in but what I can say is the respect I have for man A,
Yes.
because
Yeah.
even when man B came back and
Hmm.
he knew that it was over, man A
Braggadocious.
was still a man
Yes.
Humble. Yes.
and come on y'all, let's get up and celebrate him. Like,
Congratulated him. Yeah.
yes.
And he was hurting inside. You know he was
He,
hurting
he was.
because
Even
he really
even
cared
up
about her.
until, I
Hmm.
think even up until their first actual face to face, like
At
their
the
first face
bar.
to face,
Hmm.
you could tell like he was just, playing it cool, but you can see all over his body language that
Hmm.
he was upset
Yeah.
that she didn't pick him. But at the end of the day, he saved himself, because
Yes.
even though I
Yeah.
think her outcome would have been different, but
Yeah.
he saved himself because
She needs therapy for sure.
we don't know what she would have done if she still would have picked him.
She needs therapy.
Do y'all remember when they first, all the couples before they did the mixer with the outside group, when they did the mixer with all the couples.
Just them, yeah.
Yeah, you remember that, and how you could tell right away. He automatically starts setting it up for
Yeah.
I'm not proposing, I'm not in love, because he was asking these questions.
Yes.
But then he would say, well, I don't know if I can't marry someone if I'm not in love with them. So he was giving us where the trajectory of that relationship was going without giving
He
it to
gave
us.
it before that.
Yeah.
He
At
did.
the very
He did, but that
beginning.
was the icing on the cake for me.
He
I knew
was sharing
Erica
it
knew
with the
that
friends.
at least she was going to either she was going to settle or they were going to break up, because he was not going to change. He wasn't in this for the right reason.
Mm-mm.
He wasn't, and that was another thing. Like when he actually left to go out to the mixer, like if you was concerned about your quote unquote fiance, you would have knew that her laying in the bed was something was wrong when you said you're not going out. How you gonna ask her if she going out when she just told you before she got in the bed that she was going to lay down?
And why would you leave without her? Why wouldn't you ask her, you want to
Like,
come? And if she didn't want to go, you sit your butt down. Where you going, honey?
he was like, okay, see you.
Yep.
But
Again, his
then
motives
your
Oh
weren't
my
right.
mother and
gosh.
his mother and his sister was like,
Oh boy, they know who he is.
he's not in touch with his feelings, or making up all these different excuses for
Excuses.
him.
They know
Like,
exactly
But
who he is.
giving her tea without giving her tea
Her
though.
tea.
Right,
mhm.
right.
That just shows when we women say red flags and we ignore red flags.
Mm-hmm.
Girl.
She ignored them
Ignored
all.
every single one of them. And I kind of felt bad for her. And I was hoping at the end that her and guy A would
Yeah,
have
me too.
I did
eventually
too.
hooked up,
Mm-mm.
because he
But he
was
was
just
too
awesome.
hurt. He was too hurt.
Yeah,
That
he was hurt because she said, like,
she
basically, definitely,
guaranteed
you're
him.
mine.
Like I'm like base
And he's
right.
like,
And she
okay.
flipped the script,
Quick.
literally flipped the script overnight. Like, what happened?
I had a book and I was like doing this, the guy, and then put the name here, the name there. And I just knew for sure that these two, in my book, I said married. And,
Mm-hmm.
certain couples marry.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That one, oh my goodness, I was so upset with her.
Mm-hmm.
Did you
And go ahead.
I,
Oh,
um
are you frozen?
I was saying,
no,
you
I'm still
froze?
I'm not frozen. I'm thinking, like, so did you guys watch Get to the Reunion?
Yes.
Absolutely.
yes.
That, oh my God. I didn't think we are gonna get to there yet, but yeah. Oh my
I
God.
know when she met that man, she probably said, oh my goodness, what did I do? This
But wait,
whole
before we get to the
I know we
before we
rushing
get
to
to
the
the
reunion.
hold up. Before we get to the reunion, like we talked about the red flags.
Right.
What red light, what green light did she see? Like what was she?
The familiar spirit,
Fine.
Mika.
He was
The-
fine.
Yeah.
He was
The
fine.
familiar
She
spirit.
didn't know he was fine though
Because it was
in the
blinded.
pods.
Right.
No,
He
but she
proposed.
could, okay, not fine and looks, but that familiar spirit, and then the fact that
It was nothing
you
else.
could
He
tell that
gave
he was
her
kind of
nothing.
he was kind of
Rocky.
The
aggressive.
bravado. Is that what it
Yeah.
is?
Yeah.
That was cockiness.
So
Okay.
who was your favorite couple?
Karen and
I
Megan.
gotta think.
That's your favorite couple?
Karen, yeah.
I don't remember. I don't think my favorite
What's-
couple.
My favorite couple is the one that liked to dance. Those two
Karen.
had so much
Karen and
energy.
Megan. Karen.
Yes.
They were your favorite from the beginning?
No,
Yeah.
not my favorite in the beginning.
You know,
Well,
the Indian guy and the Indian girl. Well, one was an Indian, one was from somewhere
Sarova
else.
He was
and
from
Door
Cal.
Pakistan.
over.
Kyle.
I liked them
And
also.
Cal.
I just knew they were going to.
No, Cal felt like he was fronting the whole time. I don't
His
know.
brother gave him
I
up.
didn't
His
feel it.
His
brother
brother.
gave
But see,
Thank
that's
you.
the thing.
Thank
brother
you.
did put him
That was
out
the
there.
other sign that she
his
missed.
brother
Come
gave
on,
him up.
let's talk about this,
But that
man.
Sarova didn't hear that. She didn't know that part.
I guess because they were one-to-one. She was in the conversation. Is that what it
No,
was?
they were 1-to-1. She was still in the kid. She was still in the
Right.
living
With the mom?
with his mom
Yeah.
and his grandmother.
So she missed it. Yeah. So she couldn't see it until after the taping.
But I knew.
And-
but then I'm thinking, well, maybe you just don't know. But yes, Cal was a huge disappointment.
Cal, he looked like he was
His-
just there for the camera, showing his muscles.
Good
He
night,
And
was
Candy.
what about the
he
guy,
was
the other
some
guy,
candy
always
though.
talking
He
about
was
his
He was
candy.
spleen?
Candy.
Oh,
Mhm.
Mr. Spleen. Oh Lord, don't
Yes,
get me started, Mr. Spleen, honey.
Mr.
Oh,
Spleen.
Patrick.
now I was with him in the beginning with the vibe and the
Uh-uh.
alignment. I
That
Mm-mm.
was
was
that.
with
That his hairdo was horrible. That threw me off.
Nope.
Yeah.
you ain't see you wasn't supposed to see his
Nope.
hairdo.
Well, thank God I did. That was horrible.
I think my favorite couple. I don't. Okay, who were the couples? It was Billy and
Ashley.
Ashley
Ashley.
That wasn't my
It was
favorite.
Cal and Cyril Sarover.
Sarova.
Sarova,
It was Megan and the youngie with the
Kieran.
hips.
Kieran.
Kieran, and then the main couple that we're talking about. Oh,
Jetty. Jetty.
no, Jed,
Jetty. Jed.
Jed and
And Barbara? How you say her name? Barbara?
Bartha, whatever her name is. Call her Lady B.
They were my favorite couple.
I like them too.
They
Yeah,
were
I
my
like them
favorite
too.
couple.
But let me ask you something. Towards the end, that made them broke up because she felt something. You think there was some type of physical abuse coming from his part that made
Nah,
her say no?
nah. I didn't.
Because
Nah, I didn't.
something transpired behind the scenes that the
Well, they got
cameras
into an
couldn't.
argument. They had their first argument.
It was something else. It says she saw another side to him because the argument was
But
about her
she was being
not wanting to yield control, to leave control.
but
But
she was
she
being
said,
disrespectful. She was being disrespectful to him.
right.
She
And
she
that's why he
was.
was angry.
And that's
However,
why she saw that other side, because she became disrespectful.
right, but the other side that she mentioned was, I don't know,
I
I
think
got a feeling of it got physical. I don't know why. I don't know why.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
don't
know
think
why.
that
I
at
don't know
all.
why. No?
I don't think it got physical. I think what it is she realized that because she's this
Independent
independent, I'm in control type of I gotta pay the bills, and she couldn't even respect the fact that he was simply just asking you.
to lead, yeah. He wanted
Like,
to lead.
let me be the man.
Tonight, specifically tonight.
Right, to that particular night and let me pay the bill. How can you forget that quick?
Yeah, exactly.
She's like, I forgot. How did you
Mm-mm.
forget that quick?
Because she's so
Right.
used to
So
doing it.
I think she knew that she wasn't going to be able to submit and come bring
Yep.
herself down.
Yeah.
So I think that's why she chose herself.
So then why
Yeah.
then after the reunion, after the she left him at the altar. I know he was so bruised. Oh my God. After she left him and said no to him at the altar, she got back and they started to date for the
Because
couple
they
weeks. So
tried. They
so
were
Because she
why
didn't want to end
try
it.
if
She wanted to just, she wasn't ready. She knew that they weren't ready then, but she still wanted to be in a relationship to get to that point.
and they didn't make it
and
3
then
weeks.
they didn't make it 3 weeks.
Mm-mm.
Well, they didn't neither one of them got into detail on what they
Yeah,
went
I
through,
don't know. I don't
but
know. This feeling I can't drop it.
that's what I got from them not working, is because she knew that she wasn't going to be ready to dim herself
Submit. Yeah.
and respect. I mean, granted, he not asking you nothing crazy. He just saying let him pay the dang nabbit bill.
Right, but
Be the
she kept
man.
saying something about him that I'm not liking. I don't know. She kept saying that, y'all. But she wanted to give him grace, give him more time because she still loved him.
Well, she didn't
I'm
love him
thinking,
too much because she didn't want to change, so she didn't love him too.
I gotta go. Oh.
hmm
So it's coming back to me. She
hmm
did state that when
yeah,
they were out to dinner, that one of his exes was in
at the
the
gym,
restaurant
at the
at the
gym.
gym. His
Yeah,
ex was at the gym, and she didn't like how he played it off. Like I forget what the details
he
were,
kept saying
but
to take her ring off after he had to ask her to put it on, and
there
all of
you
a sudden he
go.
want the ring off because I don't want my ex to see it.
To come
Why
to
would you
find
care if
out,
your ex would see
it
it?
was because of the ex. So I
So I'm
think
thinking, yeah, you got back to the ex in that little meantime we weren't together.
Mm.
Yes,
I don't know, but I like them,
they
but
were my favorite.
my favorite couple,
Karen was mine.
I thought Billy and Ashley was gonna make it.
they were my favorite couple.
No
I really
way.
thought I
Mm-mm.
really thought they were gonna make it.
No
Billy and Ashley were
way.
my favorite couple.
He
Um,
kept saying
Too.
over and over and over again.
Her
And
job.
she kept ignoring it. She was like in this la la land. I think
Because
she
they
was
had
more in love with
conversations,
her.
and they say that that they would make it work. And so
Mm-mm.
you
He
think you can make
said,
it
but he
work,
wasn't being honest.
right?
He
Wait, is
wasn't
this
being
the
honest.
fitness guy, right?
Yeah,
That's
the
in the
army
Yes,
army.
guy,
The
military
army
guy.
guy.
he
Yeah.
wasn't
Yeah, I love
honest.
me
I
some
don't know.
Billy.
I, he kind of discouraged me when he was in the market and he,
Oh,
That
girl.
part. Oh my
yeah,
gosh.
he
Yeah, that
kind
was
of,
the
he
beginning of the
was
end. That was
a
the
bit,
beginning of
I'm
the end
like,
for
come
them.
on,
yeah.
just have your own little separate cabinets of food. Let her eat what she wants. It's no big.
It
Make a
ain't
Cake.
huge deal
hard.
over food.
Let her
Oh
eat a
my
cake
goodness.
and May.
Yeah.
And be
Her
happy
cake
with
It
it.
alone.
ain't hard. And if he would have let her be great and let her do her own individual
Yeah.
shopping,
She would have
who
stopped.
knows? She might have would have came on his side of the fence.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But
Right.
because he was so military and
It's
health is
only
this
his
and
way,
health
no
is
way.
this and health is
Healthy
this,
regimen. Yeah.
it turned her off.
The truth of the matter, I think he lacked willpower. He didn't want it in the house, he probably would have started eating it too. So he didn't want to break that willpower. So because he's a coach, he has to live by example. That's what it was,
Well,
but he didn't want to say it.
he said he has his cheat days,
Mm-hmm.
but
You
Them
say
cake. He
that.
would have been hiding behind the corner eating his cake, her
I
cakes.
know. Mhm.
yeah,
That
I
part.
just think that um
I
I don't
wish.
know because this conversation can go
Okay, let's get to the reunion.
more in
But it's
depth.
funny because when you
Okay.
said watch it, I was like, yeah, no, I'm not interested. Then here I'm going to bed 12:30, quarter to one. Like, what in the world, Tamika got me watching?
You gotta watch 50 and older because that's a whole interesting.
I'm gonna watch it.
Oh, one thing I have to point out, if you remember in the videos when they were talking about, living arrangements and ah, who's Damala? LB, Damala, ARB. He's
Mom,
He's
A is
A.
he's A.
the yeah.
He
hey,
had
yeah.
told her that, when we get married, because he live in London, she live in Scotland, that he would move everything and move to Scotland to live with her.
Mhm.
When
Was
her
raised.
and B was talking about, if you remember, they were in the bedroom saying, oh, I work from 6 to 9. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Sometimes
Right.
I
Like
eat
I'm
late.
not changing my
Sometimes,
schedule.
Yeah.
right. So he was
I
gonna,
be in bed at that time.
right. Oh, I be in bed by 10. I get home and I need to be by 10. He was gonna change his whole life, move his whole life. But the other dude couldn't even
Change
You
his
want
bed.
to be like
he
little
couldn't hit his
boy.
best. Like, no compromise, no adjustment. That's your wife, honey. Like there was all these signs. What was she thinking? Oh
She
my God.
wasn't. She
You
was in
wanted to be
repeat. She was in
like,
repeat mode. She was in repeat
Oh,
mode.
I don't know about y'all, but I wanted to be like
I was
little
done at
boy.
that part. I was like, child,
You're not gonna die working that same schedule.
come on.
Like
So when were you gonna see your wife? One day out the week? Like, he literally said on the weekends. Did he say
I don't
that?
I
remember.
don't know.
I'm
I
like,
kind of
what?
tuned out after the out
I
after
was
a while
done.
because I couldn't deal. But
I
he
feel
was
like
fine.
she's
He was
gonna
fine.
Ah, nah.
I
He was.
feel like she's gonna reach out to Guy A.
I hope so.
You think so?
I would
Mhm.
reject her if I was him.
Me too.
Because she needs work. She needs therapy. She needs lots of
Lots of
therapy.
it.
I
Lots of
would
Lots
it.
of it.
reject her if I
But
was him.
do you
Mm-mm. She
remember he
need
did
time.
say if she can change her mind that fast, he said,
That's
I am
yeah.
glad,
That's the
then she
problem.
can go
Yeah.
ahead.
Yeah,
Yeah, he said
yeah,
Because
I
she'll
do
probably change her
remember.
mind again. They'll date for 6 months. Woo-hoo.
Well, she was
But
right for
she
changing
did
her.
all that out of fear. I mean, the part of it, even though it was a familiar spirit, I think a lot of it, her decision was based on fear and familiarity because that's what she
Yeah.
was familiar with, even though she knew it was wrong. But I'm just thankful at the end that she decided to stop it before the disrespect got even bigger.
Thank God for Megan. Megan was the
Yeah.
one that put her on because she didn't go
Right,
to the
right,
party.
and I'm thankful that I'm thankful because she could have just stuck it out and still stayed there.
She
But
was.
I'm
Megan
thankful
looked
that
out.
she got herself together. And even when he was like, well, I didn't, well, when he saw her packing, and now he was trying to put on the
What's going on?
suave
Where you going? Where you going?
conversation. Now you're all concerned, and I'm like, girl, don't you do it. You better
Don't,
put that stuff in that suitcase. You've been not taking
don't
nothing.
fall for it.
I'm talking to the screen like this, like when my rippers and stuff. You better, girl, you put some out there. And then she kept packing. I was like, thank you, Lord. Like I felt so relieved because
Mhm.
I was afraid like that she was gonna say,
Oh,
okay,
right. Because the last time she was going to leave, oh, she was going to leave, but whatever he said, she
yeah,
stayed after
yeah,
the party because um she was wondering, well, why didn't you leave? Why didn't you ask me to go with
Because
you?
right, she was trying to drill him on to understand about him being in all these other females' faces. And
Hmm.
then he said to her, well, I told you that same night.
yeah.
He kept saying, I told you the same night that I talked to this and this and this person, this person, this person. But it
And all we
still
did was
wasn't
talk.
it. I don't really even with Karen, I kind of wonder, I really questioned their friendship because was Sophia stating that they were actually arguing.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I really wanted to know how did like what was her reasoning of coming to relay this message because
Megan,
mhm,
you said
is
Meg,
that Meg is that yeah
Karen's
Megan
fiance. Hmm.
right. I really in question her integrity with it because
Weren't they
it what
friends,
there
her and
wasn't there
Katisha?
wasn't I don't know, you can't really count none of them females your friends because y'all all in competition for this like for it so yeah no but anywho um
But at that point, everybody picked their fiancés already. So what would she want with, you know what I mean?
but I still don't know. You still you gotta question some
Reasoning.
females though
Sometimes, yeah.
because even her fiance. I swear I saw a door. I saw a door. I
Oh
saw a
yeah, I don't
door.
know
There
where he
was a
get that
door.
from.
And then they show the video or the picture, and it was no door. Her swearing they were in the booth doing whatever. And then Sophia was like, no, we were in the booth arguing. Like we were embarrassed to be on the floor, so they went into the booth. I just don't know. I did begin to question like what was her point in sharing
But
that
if it wasn't
information.
if it wasn't for Megan, she would still be there. If it wasn't for Megan, put her on, letting her know what's going on, what your fiance did at the party, because he was in the female faces.
And then she would have been embarrassed at the altar had she not told her. I didn't
Right.
I didn't question that, but I questioned what the hell are you doing at a party arguing with another chick?
Yeah,
What are you
that part
arguing
too.
Why?
about?
Yeah.
What
So-called
got so intense that
producer
you had to have an
background.
argument about it?
They didn't say, but she do live
Exactly.
down
They
the
were
street from him.
so he was horrible.
She lives down the street from him. Remember that?
Yeah, because she said, how close do you live? She lived down the street. Why? He's
Why
just
are you asking where
questioning.
I live, nigga? I'm
Just
sorry,
questioning.
Lord.
Oh, oh,
Mm,
Father
mm.
God.
Because that's how I was talking on this in front of my screen.
Because she liked it, so she didn't care.
She was
Yeah.
flirting with
They
him
were floating
Yeah.
each other.
because they were that was one of the guys that she was
One of his
talking
dates.
to
Yeah.
in the
Hmm.
pods.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah.
And what's her name? The one he was arguing with.
Sophie.
Sophie.
Sophia or
Sophie.
Sophia, whatever the
Sophie
girl name is.
admitted that she had a lot of issues because when she first started dating, the way she was talking to them guys, I was like, who she think she
Yeah,
is?
Yeah, she needs
She
right.
said something
counseling.
about somebody's cat, and
She needs
I'm
therapy
like,
too.
hey, you really didn't come up here to get married. But at the end, she did realize she had a lot of
She
issues,
humbled
and
herself and she said
yeah,
she was going to therapy.
Hmm.
Yeah.
At the
Because some
reunion, she said it too. Hmm.
Mhm.
yeah, because that was funny when one of the guys was like, well, I have a cat. And she was like, well, I don't, yeah, the cat, you got to compete with the love. And well, that's what you're doing. Like, in a sense, honey, you're doing the same thing the cat is doing.
Hmm.
Like, I was like, okay, she doesn't make any sense with that one, but
No.
that's her story. Okay, so with all of that saying,
We didn't get
Wait.
to the reunion yet. Hold on, to go to the
oh,
reunion.
oh,
I was waiting for it.
Okay.
okay.
Okay, so what do y'all think about? Because they said it in the reunion. The script that Kyle used to let Sarova down was quote unquote word by word for what Billy told Ashley. Literally 3 months
Yeah.
after the show ended,
Yeah.
like December, January, the same time even. What do y'all think
Yeah.
about that?
Oh, they shared that he coached What's
Yeah,
his name?
that's what they were saying.
Cal,
Mhm.
Billy.
Cal, Coach Billy,
Oh,
because according to Ashley, they
it
were
was
speaking the same language, and we
like
all know
word
they
for
don't even
word.
speak. They don't conversate in the same way, but they were using
Mhm.
the same thing word for word. So
Right.
they had men power and was helping each other out to get out of their
Mhm.
relationship.
Because they weren't honest. You knew in your heart, you know Billy knew he wasn't. And it come to find out in the reunion, it was disclosed that it wasn't even
His big head self.
it wasn't even about her job, though. It was the reason why he broke up. He said it was because he wasn't feeling her no more. So it wasn't even about the job at the end. So you knew how you felt really.
And
Why
his
would
worst
you
nightmare was
lie?
to get divorced again because he was already divorced once.
I
His
see.
I was so
dad
disappointed. I was
So
so
me too.
disappointed.
I'm like, man, tell the truth.
I
So
was too,
disappointed.
but his dad wasn't his dad or his
Yes.
brother. His
His
dad told
dad.
Yes.
him people got to be listening. Like you, okay, you don't always have to take uh people's counseling for what it is. Not like you got to take what you need to dissect and chew on,
Mm-hmm.
and what you don't need to take, spit it out. But the stuff you need to take is not what you need to be spitting out. Like the brother, the dad,
Yes.
like
They
they
were
were
telling you.
all
Yeah.
telling them, like,
Yeah.
dude, you're not ready. Like this is what you do. You're at that phase where you're happy. You're.
Yes.
This is. It's not gonna last. Like they're telling you.
Even Cal, all of Cal's friends, they know his pattern. They know his go-to. After a few weeks,
He just
he
looked like
leaves the
he was.
girl. He doesn't have any relationship longer than 3, 6 months. They all said the same thing. I'm like, Slover, you listening? Slover, you listening?
But you
He was
remember
so cute
when
though.
at the mixer, at the one of the mixers, who was Cal talking to? Blondes.
But he said that he
He
told,
was
That's
used
his.
but
to.
That's
he
his.
He
told
did.
her that was his norm.
Right,
All
right.
blinds.
But
Yeah.
I'm your fiance, so you shouldn't be talking to blondes. But then when I said, well, you talk to blondes, but then when I saw his mother and his grandmother, that's why I realized, okay, that's why, because they're
Mhm.
blondes.
Mhm.
But so why would you? And the craziest historically, they said, you know, well, I know, I know a lot of Indians and Pakistani friends, and they don't even like each other. So there's like always this conflict
Yeah,
and this war.
they talked
So then
about
why
that.
would you?
Mhm.
So I kind of think that after he figured it out that where she was from, I kind of think that that made him lock onto her because that's not even Indian women typically. I'm gonna say 99.9% of the time have dark brown or black hair,
Mhm.
and so you know
What she is and who she is.
What she looked
that
like
she's
to a
not blonde.
degree,
Mhm.
right?
So you know, aesthetically, that's not your cup of tea. So why even proceed, regardless of the conversation, how smooth it went? You know, just aesthetically, that's not what you gravitate to. So why even push through that?
And you saw
Well,
how Sarova was. Go ahead.
because that's the reason of the show.
I get that, but you
The
know, your heart of
show
hearts
is
are.
to get you out of your typical dating where
Mm-hmm.
you're not physically attracted to what your norm is, to have an actual conversation, to get to know the person on an intellectual level,
Which is
and
hot.
then which is very but so that was the point. But
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I really think Nick Lachey and his wife need to do a little more dissecting in their interviews. Only because, like, some of these people be coming on here and they playing.
Yeah.
Like, for you to be dating somebody behind the pods, you're having these dates and you're getting to know and you're asking all the questions that you need to ask for yourself. And then you get to the point where okay, will you marry me? Okay, cool. Phase two is the honeymoon. And not even phase two, phase three really
Living
is
together.
where you're living together
Hmm.
and now you're really in reality mode. So you're past the honeymoon, the honeymoon, and we're in this green water and we're sipping these Bahama Mamas, and you're
Hmm.
just looking like the sexiest little skittle
Living in a
in a
fantasy.
package.
Not Skittles, you get
Like,
behind my mama. What?
that sounds good. But anyway, so once you're past that and you're in the reality of it and you know the challenges that's gonna come up,
And you're
and
meeting
then
the
you're gonna
family.
say, well, I wasn't ready for whatever, like
Mm-mm,
what?
mm-mm.
You wanted to come on a show where you're not gonna see the person at all. So to even it bothers me when I hear the individuals say, well, I don't even know you, or
But
something to
see,
that level. Like right now,
yeah.
I can't think of anything that they say that pisses me off, but you applied to be on the show
Mhm.
But
for
so,
the
but
reason.
but at some point, even when once they're living together and you meet their family and their family tells you other parts of them that they failed to disclose, the dad, the siblings, the mom. So you're getting other truths that they didn't either unwillingly or just forgot. At that point, you should know, and you know what you like. Like Cal, he tried to see if he can test it. Once the doors open and he saw what she looked like. He saw Sorova's color and her hair color. At that point, okay, I'll give you that. We give you that time during but once they started living together and you met the family and her mom is so beautiful, and the sister. At that point, you knew in your heart, okay, I don't think I can see past that. I like my choice. You should
Yeah,
have
he
ended
just
it.
wasn't. I honestly just think he really wasn't attracted to her. It was the
He
physical for him.
wasn't. Even the part when he said she had to pull to make him be affectionate. He wouldn't even want to kiss her. She had
Mhm.
to do it.
Mhm.
During the reunion, she mentioned it. I don't know if you caught that part. And it
Mhm.
was like, man, why you lie? Billy too. Billy knew. Bill, and the part that he said at the end in the reunion, I didn't. I stopped loving her. But you knew you stopped way long before that time. Why
Yeah, he
go to
said
that
self. He sabotaged
facade?
himself. He sabotaged
Eh?
himself.
And it's like she was more in love with being in love with getting
Yes,
married,
he
and
loved
she
Billy.
ignored all the signs because the signs were there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
she believed him because he was lying the whole time. He wasn't truthful.
that's how it is with 50 and up. Is a lady on there that I think is just in love with the idea of
Getting married.
marriage because she's just like so extra. I'm so in love with you, and he's just looking at her like,
Oh
well,
no.
I
What do you
like
love her?
you, but and the guy when the guys meet, they're like, well, how can she be in love? And it's only been 3 weeks. So one of the other fellows was like, well, yeah, we know women, think different and they move different, but she is a little extra. And even when she met the family via video, she was just, it is a part of her personality because she's a little spicy and a little extra. But I was just like, girl, I don't think they really feeling what you're saying. Like you might want to
Chill.
Take it down a notch.
just relax and just go with the flow, and just you're better off just going with the flow and
Mhm.
instead of trying
Trying to
to
make things happen.
write, because I don't he's gonna walk away. I already see it. He ain't making it to the altar.
Do you
I want to.
think that's what happened with Billy and Ashley? Like she was too much, Ashley was too much, and Billy was like, I don't want to hurt her feelings. So he just played along.
No, because he wasn't
I think
sure.
they actually were on the same. I really think what happened to Billy, to be honest, is I really think he let his head
He did. He overthought it
get
too
in his
much.
way.
Right.
Yeah.
Because he didn't want to marry. He was
So
adamant
focused
about
on
not
not
marrying
having a second failed
failed
marriage.
marriage, that and then the fact that he didn't want
Mhm.
to marry anyone who was like a steward. He didn't want to marry anyone like that. So the
Mhm.
moment I think that he found out that's what she did,
He
he should have
kind of
walked away
Yeah.
because
yeah.
that he overplayed that in his head about the fears of marrying someone like that,
So
and
the
then he
day of
overthought it
marriage,
and he
yeah.
sabotaged himself.
But you can
Hmm.
also tell when he found that out that there's the situation kind of switched, it shifted. Like he changed from how excited he was and how
Towards the
into
end.
her he was, and
Yeah,
then once he
Hmm.
found that out, it kind of dimmed his light a little bit. And
yeah.
then once they started reassuring each other, that he kind of brought it back up, but he still
Yeah.
was in his head.
Yeah.
He so was in his head. I think Billy sabotaged himself.
And
He
after
did.
that grocery shopping situation, that really took it to left.
I
That
wanted to
made
punch
it.
him in his throat.
It
Like,
was
dude,
it extra.
arm throats are not connected. So I don't swallow for
Yeah.
you and you don't swallow for me. Let me go over here into this bakery and get this bread and these cakes
He was really adamant about it not being in his house.
and just mind your business. When you see him on the countertop, you don't see him.
He's gonna get tempted. You can help it.
You
That
know,
was part of his control.
yeah.
Mm.
Because
Right.
he was in the military. So
Military.
that's his DNA, his denim.
He was a lieutenant.
Military.
Was he a captain?
I don't remember.
He did have some little nice
He
arms and nice little
he
abs.
said he trained them.
Okay.
And he did say, I can't have my men follow a certain
Yeah.
regimen, and I'm doing the opposite.
He did, but you ain't got
real.
to.
Yeah, just because it's in your
You
house doesn't
don't
mean you gotta
have
put it in your
to.
mouth.
That's your fiance's business.
I guess
Which
he
tells
wanted
me he lacks
temptation.
willpower. Yeah.
Let her
Which
eat them.
says she better not even gain weight.
Oh, he said that. I missed that part.
No, I'm saying you could tell that's how he felt. If she would have gained weight, that would have been a problem.
Mm.
Yeah. But she did say that she had an issue with food
Eating
growing
disorder.
up, a love-hate
Mhm.
relationship with food, and she suffered. I don't think she said was an eating disorder, or did she? I don't recall, but I know she did
Oh, I
say
missed that.
she did
Mhm.
say she had issues with food,
With
and that's
food.
how she's lost all the weight, because but she still likes her little num-nums.
Who
I
doesn't?
did like she didn't make it.
Really?
But what was the Jamaican girl's name?
Anu.
Um,
I liked her.
oh yeah, we
Yeah.
didn't talk about her.
I was going to, but then we left off the spleen too quick, so I just
Oh
said,
yeah, Mr. Spleen.
Well, y'all let the spleen take over y'all
Ooh,
whole
child,
feelings.
Mr.
I can't
Spleen.
talk. I ain't talking to Mr. I ain't that's the honey. That was he. I didn't like how he looked. That's just my personal opinion. I didn't like this whole how he lets his spleen talk to him, the spirituality stuff he would talk. He just rubbed me the wrong way. I liked his articulation, I liked his dialect, but
Me
everything
too.
else I did not like. He was
Instead of
Well,
just calling it the Holy Spirit, he's saying spleen.
his spleen.
What is that about? That's
Well,
I gotta
significant.
ask him.
I
don't know.
don't think he believed it was a Holy
He
Spirit
didn't.
because what was her name?
I knew.
I know.
When Anu stated that
She
she
was
was
Christian.
a Christian and that how her family and they pray and she said, I call it the Holy Spirit. He kind of like
Yeah.
shook it off. So
Yeah.
Change the subject real quick.
he ain't
Yeah.
calling it the Holy Spirit. It's really his spleen.
Man, she
Yeah.
dodged a bullet right there. Oh.
But I liked her.
Did.
Mhm.
I liked
I
her.
liked her too.
I want to go back real quick. So remember
Mhm.
when it first started, not Billy, Kieran and Sophie was like this
Oh
boom, boom,
yeah.
bat, right?
Mhm.
This chemistry.
Yeah.
And
Well,
I think, and then he met Megan, and then it was kind of like, well, whatever. I personally think what shifted
He said what he said.
was that conversation when Billy, no, I can't keep saying Billy, when Kieran and
Sophie.
no, Kieran and
Megan.
I quit.
Megan, they were more free and more open to talk about sexual conversations. So remember at that one point, they were in the pot and it got a little spicy.
Yeah.
You mentioned like slipper and stick because they said, I'm a little sweaty. He's like, I'm a little sweaty too. We'll be
Yeah.
slipping and sliding. So it was like that sexual attention.
Yeah.
So then that was the end of that conversation, right? So now who comes in next? Sophie, who was a little
Sophie's
bit more
closed off.
Well, she was
a little bit more,
uptight. She
she's
wasn't
closed
really
off.
open though.
Mhm.
No, but that's
Not
not
even
something,
sexually.
right? But that's not something she answered him, but not in the details that Megan had just answered him. The way, so he was more reserved in her answers, and rightfully so, because I don't really know you that well, but I don't think we should go into that in much detail. So she was reserved. I personally think that's when
They
he
got close.
switched completely, because the next time they met, he gave her that little origami thing, which threw Sophie off the charts. You all remember that?
Let me ask you,
made
Nick, was that
her.
really their first conversation? No, wasn't that like 2, 3, 4 dates
It
in?
wasn't their first
before-
conversation, but
Yeah.
that's still too soon to be talking about in that much detail.
But hold
and all the
on,
sexual
because
attention through the partition. That's
she
not how
But wasn't it like a joke or something? And then they got like, you know what I mean?
It
It
kept
created
going and
that.
going and going.
Yeah. I mean, at one point you just can't stay too, you know what I mean? You have
But
to go
honey,
deeper.
Sophie was dry. She wasn't
Yeah,
even,
she was.
forget the sexual conversation. She wasn't even really answering much of
She
anything.
had walls all the way up. Walls, walls,
She
walls.
was trying to let them go. I think she really, really liked them. So she
She
was
she
letting them
did,
go.
She did.
She was
but it
letting them
didn't,
go, but he was going way too
not quick enough.
fast.
Because he's
Not quick
free.
enough.
She's not. She's bound.
Right, but she got to get there, and so if you're
Mhm.
into me, your will should be willing. But I think that whole conversation with Megan, because she was open and more
Yeah.
open. Because remember, even when they first met, what did they do?
Because
Right?
it was all
Was
pent
It was
up,
all about that sexual chemistry.
pent up. And
it's
you
called
want
what's
that, don't
meant for
you? You don't
you
want to
is
have
gonna
So
be
that?
meant
of
for you.
course you want that, but I
Right.
don't want to be denied a relationship because I'm not because
Open?
that's all you want to talk about.
That wasn't all they talked about, Nick, for real.
Not all they, but it was enough, especially on TV. But some people are not.
Well,
They're
listen,
working for proof.
but you come on the show, so you know you're gonna be on TV.
But don't mean. But who else talked about? Not all the other couples talked about sex though,
You
or sexual
oh
innuendos.
oh well
So
no.
They
You
didn't?
gotta watch You gotta watch
not
50 and
not a lot of
above.
them.
You got a 50 and above. They talking about it in the pods. These little old gross.
Nasty women, nasty men.
Listen, I don't know what to
I
call
mean,
them.
I
These
wouldn't want
mom
it.
and pops is having a conversation. You hear me?
They're getting right to it too. It wastes no time.
Listen,
Time is ticking already.
they was like, and some of them have never been married,
Ooh.
and they're having the conversations in the pod. Matter of fact, one guy was like, "Oh shoot, oof, I'm getting horny right now."
Oh
And
no.
I was looking at him like,
Okay, I gotta watch this show.
Mr. Carlos,
Carlos.
sir, you ain't even seen her.
Ooh.
But
Men don't have to see them sometimes, but
Yeah, because
anywho,
they got this.
true.
yeah.
But yeah, I think I'm getting cocky. I'm getting like man B. If it's meant to be, is what's meant to be is gonna be. Cause he just wasn't.
True,
Child,
you have to put the effort.
Sophie just wasn't. Yeah, but she also knows she was a little rough around the edges too earlier
Yeah,
on.
she
Cause
admitted that.
some of her answers, I was looking like, well, what is you on here
Here
for?
for.
I'm not gonna be second to nobody. Well, then when
Well, I don't
you're
blame her. That was the I would. I mean, I wouldn't do
honey,
it
but
that
all
way.
on a
dating. You're
dating
dating,
game,
yeah.
like
But she made him. She. But that's the thing. Dating game or not, you still have to know your worth, and you still have to realize what you're willing to accept, no matter what the situation. And that's what she was not willing to accept. Because
well,
now you're giving her.
absolutely.
And now
She
you're giving
ran
somebody
everybody
this.
away though.
That was her
But I was getting
insecurity.
ready to say she
That
knew
was
her
her
worth.
insecurity.
Callie, Kalia, Kalisha,
Katisha.
Katisha didn't know her worth.
Yeah.
So you see how the scenarios played out. You do need a balance,
For sure.
but and you do gotta have your guard up too. You know what I mean? But it
Yeah.
can't be up all the turtleneck can't be all the way up to your nose.
It cannot be.
And then you get in an attitude because he done got the girl a little necklace or whatever he got her.
And really, if she really would have played the game, because it is a game, she could have,
She
opened
could
up
have switched that
more
back
and
around,
switched it right back. Come on now, right
She
back
played
around.
her game.
But
She
the
played
way
herself, really.
Second. You want me, you have to pick me. I'm not gonna make
Hold
you
on.
pick me. That's her choice.
No,
But
no
also
one's
made
making
him
you, but make him see you with the
That she decided
conversation.
not to. She was over it.
well
she went home.
also
And she
I
missed
think
out.
made him pick his decision is because she came back once she saw that he gifted her and I'm not gonna be second. She came back a little extra aggressive,
The
even
next
though she
coming
said,
back. Yeah.
even though she said she wasn't going to in
Yeah.
the lounge with the females.
She was in her feelings.
She got in that pod and definitely was, and that's when he said, "Well, listen,
I made the right choice.
I made my decision because,
Mhm.
ma'am, who you
But
talking
she definitely solidified it at that point for sure.
Right. She put her
But-
foot in her mouth, but she
Yeah.
could have came back and slid into that thing like, listen,
Flipped it
here,
all the way over. Like,
hold up.
okay.
I know you see
She
Megan, but you really didn't see
Guy
me.
G.
Mhm.
Huh?
You can get Guy B because he was all over blushing and everything.
I can see
Yeah,
him. I
yeah.
wouldn't doubt if they hooked
I'm
up
sure they
after the
hooked up.
show. You think
I'm sure they
so?
hooked up.
Oh,
Yeah,
because they're in
I'm
London,
sure.
right?
He could
Yep.
not stop blushing. She was
Yeah.
blushing
She
too,
was like,
like
what? She was
They
like,
both were flirting
Yeah.
hard,
Yeah.
hard,
too hard.
super hard. Like that was harder than Crazy
Yeah.
Glue.
And then Mona, she didn't flirt like that in the pod with Karen. Had she did
No.
that, she probably would have kept her
Because
mistresses.
now that she can see, I think now she can see who she's flirting with. That may have been a thing
That
That's
too.
the
might have
whole
been her
point of the
type.
game.
But I think that
Tell
was
her
also
that.
Man's
I
B
wasn't me. That
type.
was her. I
I
don't
think
know.
that was I think that she was also plan B. No, not plan B. Man B. I think she was also Man's B typical type.
Like, yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah.
But he said never
Uh,
dated white girls. Remember he said
That
that?
little chocolate, he
He
lied.
said, I don't know that part. I don't remember that part.
I don't
Oh, that
either,
was
but
another interview on YouTube. My bad.
he
he
lied
was
because
But
immediately
he
attracted
But he's
to her.
making
disclosed
up
that.
stuff.
Immediately.
that little chocolate thing was that definitely his type.
Child,
And she liked that chocolate
he
too.
sure
And I can't say
did.
I blame her because he was fine.
He was a
He had a
cutie.
beautiful
Right.
smile. He had a
He does. He
beautiful
has a
smile,
beautiful
beautiful
smile.
teeth.
He
Yeah.
does.
He was a little
I'm sure
cutie.
after a couple times talking to him on the phone, we would have been like, no.
Nah, turned off
Mm.
immediately.
Immediately.
Yeah.
Because
Like
first of all, what's
He
the
he
gave
was about
conversation?
nothing.
himself.
Yes.
The old me, I don't know.
Really? He gave her nothing.
I don't know.
The conversation you so love to have?
I
Where's the
don't know.
simulation at? He
I
Well,
gave
don't
the
her
know.
old
nothing.
me,
The
I think
old
the
me
old
said,
us would have jumped for him because
yeah.
a
Right.
lot of us at that age, we didn't want the good guy. We didn't want
Mm,
guy A.
But you gotta
mm-mm.
talk to me.
I did like guy A with
I
a little
wanted Guy
mixture
B to
of
be Guy
gangster.
A, to be Guy A. I wanted him to have a mixture of the both.
Guy A
Huh?
was still cute.
No, no,
He
I
was,
liked
he
guy
was
A, but
too.
he would have had a little bit of had to have a little bit of gangster in him.
Yeah, but he didn't have no
Yeah,
gangster, and that was
see,
the
you
problem.
probably
No,
felt the
you don't
same
know. You don't
way.
know. He's such a gentleman. He didn't show that side of him. He
He ain't
showed
had none. He
enough
was a
guy gang.
nerd.
Yes,
He ain't
he
had
do.
none.
No, he's
Oh,
not
He ain't had
nerd.
none.
He's not a nerd.
He ain't had none. She,
but
because you
listen,
He
couldn't tell.
did.
He ain't had none of that in him.
Child.
I
Mm-mm.
like a nerd thug.
Yeah,
Duh.
me too. I'm
He's a
like the
thug.
the
He's
the
hiding it. It's in his inner.
he
A
ain't
nerd thug.
because
He would have
the
fought for
fact
that
that
girl.
he was mad, but the fact that he said, "All right, let's go celebrate him," that let me know right there that he ain't had no thug in him.
He's
He
matured, Nick.
Nope,
he
He's
had
nope,
an ounce of
matured.
gangster.
not
Yeah,
an
I don't
ounce
think
of
he
You
do.
can't
gangster.
blame him for that, for maturity.
I don't blame him. I love that, but I'm just saying why
Yeah,
she went the way she went because of how he.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's what she like.
yeah, that's what
She
we all
gotta.
like. That thug thizzle.
I
Mhm.
respected
Quick
his
walk.
his his gangster and him wanting to give him the manful pledge, but
Yeah.
he didn't even deserve the manful pledge. Like
Mm-mm.
he didn't even deserve it.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, but y'all gotta definitely, you ladies definitely in the audience. If you not if you're not into Love is Blind, you gotta watch Love is Blind in all the countries. Don't just settle for locals. You gotta do Brazil, you gotta do Japan. I've watched them in all countries. Even though I
Doing
gotta
that.
rewind a few
I gotta.
times and
I gotta
fast
watch them
forward
now.
because it gives you
I'm
the
How
not
they
doing
reason why,
that.
think.
huh?
It
I said I'm
gives you an
not doing
idea of
that.
how they think, other cultures, how they think, their
Just
mindset.
people in general, yeah.
Yeah.
It just lets you see, you know, how they think when they're in certain situations, or it also
Mm-hmm.
lets you see what people are not saying.
Mm-hmm.
It shows you their insecurities and how you move when you're not mature compared to when you are seasoned and you got a little obey on you. Um, I love Love is Blind. I do.
And I also want to mention, because we touched on it a little bit, and I guess we can end the conversation, but it's important. It's good, especially in the older, like after a few conversations, when is it, I guess I present it that way. When is it comfortable? When is it the right time to see if you do have sexual chemistry? Because that's important too. Because
It
if
is
it's
for
just if
sure.
it's just like, okay, we're platonic, we have things in common, But when do you see it's not just friendship? Like it goes beyond friendship. We're cool, we laugh, kiki, have things in common, nice conversation, but then you can test to see if, it goes beyond that. Because I don't want to like marry just someone that just, you know what I mean? You're
I
You
attracted to
instantly
them.
know.
Okay, we can't all talk at once.
Go ahead, Sam.
Now, I just think you instantly know.
Oh, in the beginning.
Yeah, you know when you talking to him on the phone, like, damn, you know, you
Girl.
like,
Mm,
Really?
woo. When you get off the
Okay.
phone, you're like, you hang up. No, you hang up. You know, you feel it. You just know.
Okay.
I think I totally agree with that. Now, when it comes to having those conversations, being a woman who's trying to refrain, I don't
Yes.
think it's
it ain't wise.
No, when
it's
you're
not
But
dating.
it's not wisdom to have those conversations. So until you make a commitment with one another, I don't think those conversations should happen before the commitment happens. Until you
So when
become monogamous, then the conversations should happen because you already know you're attracted. You already know, like Michelle said, you already know. So those in-depth conversations shouldn't happen until you realize that we want the same goal and you genuinely know, because it's going to make more pressure because now he didn't told you what, this, and you didn't told him now he want y'all want to do this and put the this and the together, and that's just too much pressure. That's just me.
For me personally, my past relationships, it took me a while. Well, not all of them, but I didn't have it just the first two conversations. It took me a while, like, oh, okay. I don't know why. I don't know if it was just the person, the situation, what I was going through in my life. It took me a minute. So that's why I put it out there.
I mean, you'll know when it's time to have them, I think, but I also think you should know when it's time not to have them.
Well, yeah.
true, it all depends on the
Situation.
person that you're
Hmm.
asking the question to, of course. And then it depends on I ain't gonna say the spleen. I started to be funny. Depends on the spleen,
Spleen will tell you the truth
what your spleen is telling you.
because it's going to
But
tell you the truth.
it really depends. And of course, like both of the ladies already said previously, that's correct. But I gotta put the but in there cause because I don't know. I don't want to say the right way to do it is what Nicholas stated, but I'm just somebody that, and don't mean you gotta act on what you find out, but I think for me the conversation is important to have earlier on, and that's only because stick to the next taping for the only because
Good one.
that's a whole nother conversation.
It is.
Well, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you have enjoyed this taping of this wonderful
Love is
show that we
blind.
watched. Please check it out on your time. Let us know once you read it and seen it, not read it, once you've seen it, type in, some comments of what you thought about the conversation, what you thought about the show. And we'll see you next time. Until then, bye.